Hi, Jeff Fields here from Western Combatives, and I just want to start by saying that I'm honoured to be hosting the Ultimate Self-Defense Challenge next year. One thing about it is I need to say is that I don't have an agenda in this. I don't have a horse in this race. I'm not making drills to set it up for people to have certain outcomes so that it looks like the stuff that I do is the ultimate. Not at all. With all this stuff, for me, it's all about exploration and learning. And, you know, for example, if Rokas comes in, starts doing Aikido locks and holds and throwing everyone across the room, then you know what, we're going to shut this door and we're going to go and learn Aikido. It's, you know, that's the mentality we're taking in. We're here to learn, we're here to get better, we're here to improve. I'm not here to put any agenda up. So don't think it's biased, because it absolutely isn't. Okay. So next question I get is a lot of people are emailing, messaging, asking if they can be involved. My answer to that, simple answer is no, for two reasons. Number one, we're going to have a series 2 perhaps, where it's my aim to get people purists from different martial arts, almost like UFC 1, where you have just your BJJ guy, just your karate, just your this, not mixed martial artists as such, but people who do one or the other and put them into the mix. Because if you look at Machida, when he fights, you know, people are like, oh, it's karate wins in the UFC. The guy's done kickboxing and BJJ and wrestling and all the other things. He's essentially done mixed martial arts. So you can't sit there and claim that as a win for karate, essentially. It's a win for mixed martial arts, because what technique did he do? You know what I mean? So that's where it'd be great to have the purists, and we're going to provide that opportunity for people in the future, just not in this one, you know, just a couple of people. The other thing is we need to screen people. So what we're doing is we're going to be doing this, you know, fairly intense drills and whatnot. We need to screen people to make sure, number one, that they're fit to do them. Number two, that they're not a dickhead. You know, we don't have those kinds of people here who are egotistical and go out of their way to try and hurt people. You know, we've had to kick people out of this school in the past because there are people that get in there with an ulterior motive, and, you know, particularly when they're going to have a video camera on them, it's going to get publicity. You know, it's going to take a humble person to go in and abide by the rules. Now, my guys who are going to do those roles of being the attackers and whatnot, I wouldn't put them in there if they were a dickhead, because the last thing I want is one of the 5 to get injured, or anyone to get injured for that matter. You know, so we heavily screen people to make sure they're the right kind of people to be involved in that, so it's not open to the general public. Okay. Other questions that have arisen is, will they spar? Number two, there's the crowd that talks about, you know, oh, in a self-defense situation, just run. We're not going to do that. We're not going to set up an elaborate drill and someone just turns around and runs out the door. Come on. That's not what this is about. This is about to see how martial arts work under the pressure, not running. If you want to do that, go to athletics. You know, but good luck when you're 40, 50. You're not going to run too fast, I assure you. Same with the crowd that will say that, you know, true self-defense is, you know, something that happens like, you know, a relative or a known person corners them and uses all these psychological tricks, blah, 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 which is true. I'm not debating that, okay? So we won't be catering for that, essentially. Other questions are, you know, what events will be happening. Event number 1 will be who can hold the longest horse stance. Event number 2 will be the best forms and the best kata. You know I'm not serious. Like, it's a self-defense thing that has no place in it, in spite of what people say. I can't say what the events are going to be, but rest assured they will be events that are very close to reality without overstepping the line where people get hurt. So my job as an instructor is to make the participants, number one, nervous, you know, tense and all those things, potentially scared, because then the realism comes out. If you walk into it comfortably, it's not real. So my job is to put people in a situation where they have to problem solve on the spot, think, work it out, and then work out their plan of action. Because if you think about it, you know, if you're walking down the street and some guy, or in the pub and having a few drinks and everything's cool, you're in a good frame of mind, and then some guy just wants to fight you, you have to change your mindset, and it's kind of hard to do. Most people go into, I guess, denial and are like, you know, what's happening, and there's plenty of proof of that out there. So that's what I have to do. I have to put them in the situation without giving them too much information about what's required, and they're just going to have to work it out for themselves. So that's why I can't sit there and tell you what's going to happen, but rest assured, it will be self-defense related, and that's what I do. That's why I was chosen. That's why they're coming out here and not elsewhere. because that's what we do. I feel better than anyone. My sort of motivation for doing it is just to preach what real self-defense and that kind of thing is, the hard skill side of things is, as opposed to the martial mysticism which is out there. We got to eradicate that thinking realistically. Come on, that's what I want to do. That's my motivation, and can't wait for it to happen. So tune in.